ESPN on ABC.
The game in Boston, playing them, it's always to see where we are. Can't be complacent with it. Championship team, they test their discipline.
Brunson now with Porzingis on.
You gotta make this the norm.
Tatum drives, goes inside. Let's get it.
Let's do it again. So sugarcoating. We got a lot of work to do. Simple as that.
It hasn't been the ideal season for us. We just got to put our best foot forward.
They say opposites attract.
And Jimmy Butler, touchdown!
He's like the exact opposite player of me. He's dominating the paint, I'm dominating the outside.
I don't miss a car shot. And I got racks on. And I produce that diesel. I can put Shaq on.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Papa John's.
Jason Tatum and the Celtics, they've been favorites to repeat as champions every day this season, and they've shown why, winning 8 of their last 9 games here. 2 weeks ago, when Jalen Brunson's Knicks were neck and neck with the Celtics in the standings, they sent a resounding message to New York. They're not like us. The Knicks have trailed the Celtics by 35 in both of their first 2 meetings this season. But it's not just Boston that's given the Knicks a couple of problems here. In the 6 matchups against teams that have better records than New York, those 3 teams, the Knicks are winless. They've been outscored by a total of 128 points. Alongside Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst, and Stephen A. Smith, I'm Malika Andrews. 6 measuring sticks games, 6 losses here for New York, with another one against the defending champions here in a matter of minutes. Stephen A., what needs to happen for some orange and blue skies to come back over New York?
Well, I need to see Karl Anthony Towns show up in these games, okay? In the 4 losses to the Cavaliers and the Celtics, this man has had...
I said I had no problem with the decision. Nothing to do with him having a hard work.
Again,
Sunday.
There's no 2 teams that are more likely to face off in the postseason than these 2 that we're about to see right now. Let's buckle up. Mark Jones, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Malika. Welcome, everyone, to Boston, where the Celtics continue to collect the calluses that come along with being the reigning NBA champs, preparing for what feels like another inevitable run towards another championship banner, number 19. Jason Tatum recently stating that, hey, folks, I want to be one of the all-time greats that ever played in a Celtic uniform, and he's playing like it. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson has been a monument to leadership for the New York Knicks this season. Let's take a look at the standings, take some inventory. Boston, the number 2 seed, 6 games back of Cleveland, still with hopes of chasing them down. New York, the number 3 seed, coming into the ball game tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome to TD Garden. Mark Jones courtside, along with Tim Legler, Katie George joining us in just a moment. Tim, let's start with the Boston Celtics. MVP candidate Jason Tatum has been disemboweling and dissecting defenses, and it has been a thing of beauty for Boston.
Well, you see the numbers Jason Tatum is putting up. It's a typical great year offensively, and he's just seeing the floor right now, controlling the action. But what he has done to the Knicks is anything but typical. It's been extraordinary. In the 2 matchups, 77 points, 15 made threes, and it really has come down to getting into a comfort zone early in games. He has not really felt what the Knicks are trying to put on him on the defensive end of the floor. Let's see if New York can slow him down early today. It's a big reason why Boston's had their way with them.
Tatum has done a great job in his leadership, empowering his teammates, including Peyton Pritchard, Katie.
Yeah, Mark, Peyton Pritchard has been one of Boston's most valuable players so far this season, which is why he has a great chance to be named NBA Sixth Man of the Year. What makes Pritchard so unique is the fact that he comes into every game with an open mind. He said pregame he likes to think he's a player that doesn't need play calls to affect the game. He creates his own opportunities within the flow of play. He's also willing to impact the game in so many different ways. Yes, he can shoot the 3 ball, but he's relentless on defense, often picking guys up full court. He's a great rebounder and a consistent playmaker. Pritchard says, if anything, he's adaptable, Mark, and that can be hard to find in this league.
Yeah, his role continues to grow in importance for the Boston Celtics. Let's talk about the New York Knicks. Coming off a loss against Cleveland a couple of nights ago, a game you saw on ESPN. if they're going to have a chance in this game, Tim, they've lost by 23 and 27 to Boston. If they're going to have a chance, their two best players have to be at their best today.
Well, look, they made a major offseason acquisition with Karl-Anthony Towns, and so you look at that, you look at the adjustment with Jalen Brunson, and it's been seamless. What they're doing offensively has given the Knicks a chance every night. This is one of the highest-rated offensive teams in the league, in large part to not just the scoring, but the efficiency with which they're doing it. So, look, the Knicks have had their issues defensively, particularly against some of these high-powered teams, but the offense has not been the problem.
Well, the good news is they have two of their best defenders on the floor today. Josh Hart returns after missing Friday's game and the one previous to that. OG Anunoby came back on Friday against Cleveland, still trying to find his rhythm. Brunson and the Knicks searching for a measure of atonement today against the Boston Celtics, looking for that signature win. We'll be back with the opening tip right after this.
NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC is presented by Popeyes, bringing the crunch to every game with their bold-flavored wings. This presentation of NBA Sunday Showcase, presented by Popeyes, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
24.
Broadway spotlight shines on the Knicks' rise.
Brunson a three.
A brighter light beams down from Boston. It flashes off their rings. The defending champs are the measuring stick.
Tatum. Oh, he set off the smoke detector.
Playing them, it's always to see where we are. And we see where we are. There's that. Not where we want to be.
To shine, you must shed the shadow.
Alley, watch out. He says it with his chest. Throws it down. Three. Butter.
Knicks, Celtics, next.
Keep stacking high, high, high.
Welcome to NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC, presented by Popeyes. In our game between the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics here from TD Garden. The third meeting of the season between these two contenders in the Eastern Conference, as the Knicks look for their first win of the season against their Eastern Conference rivals. Jaylen Brown, meanwhile, mic'd up for a little bit of sound.
Snacks. Water.
Go get it, TC. What you got, Luke? Yeah, what you got, Luke? What you got, Luke? I speak first today. I speak first.
Jaylen Brown, the reigning NBA Finals MVP. This is usually the time of the year where he kicks in and starts to play some of his best basketball. He and Jason Tatum, one of the most lethal tandems in the NBA. Tatum coming off a triple-double a couple of nights ago, Tim Legler, against the Philadelphia 76ers, the fourth of his career.
Yeah, look, Jason Tatum is getting it done in every platform. Scorer, facilitator, defender, rebounder, leader, you name it. Jason Tatum brings it all to the table.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the respective teams. The Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks, who are whole finally. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges in the backcourt, Josh Hart back in the starting lineup. After missing the last couple of games, Anunoby returned on Friday against Cleveland after missing the previous 6. And Karl-Anthony Towns, the best three-point shooter on the floor for New York at about 43%. Mike Holiday-Brown, Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis starting at the 5 for Boston. Porzingis did not play in the previous game against New York at Madison Square Garden a couple of weeks ago. New York, meanwhile, with just 6 different starting lineups. Folks, that's the fewest in the NBA. Anytime that you've got Boston and New York on the floor, you will have a very competitive basketball game. Historically, one of the most ever. And we are underway. Holiday back in the starting lineup as well for the Celtics. Brown fouled on his forced foray to the bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line